so
right, yeah. So you can't tell who's
By the way, here's the cool thing. Grab me.
Mm-hmm.
Now press jump, but the jump button. That's
okay.
grab me. See, that's a combination there.
Cool. So you don't actually have to beat each other up.
Exactly.
Right. Oh, but you can. Welcome back to another episode of Saturday Afternoon Gaming. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and today is a very special episode. Today I have with me a special guest host, Gonz, from the channel St1ka.
Hey everyone, welcome to Jay's, well, it's not Jay's Retro Corner, whatever. Force a Habit.
Yeah, Force a Habit, right. So Gonz here has his own YouTube channel where he sort of, I guess I would say, from your videos, it seems like you sort of whimsically or sometimes comically take a look back at some retro classics. I don't know if that's how you would describe yourself.
Yeah, sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm serious. Sometimes it's comically. Sometimes it kind of depends on my mood and how I feel the game. How I feel the game deserves to be treated. So it's a bit depending on my own mood. So
yep.
Yeah.
Cool. And Gonz has volunteered to play Streets of Rage with us today because this is a Sega Genesis classic that I honestly have never played before, and so I felt like I needed a wiser Sega fan than myself to kind of join us for this. So
yes, you're gonna be my guinea pig today.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead and hop in here.
Let's go.
And
Dibs
do
on
it.
Blaze.
Dibs on Blaze. So Blaze is the fast character, right?
Yep,
oh, you might have to press
yes.
start. I think you're in control.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not in
start.
charge. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I generally only play as Blaze in these games, like to the point where I don't even know how to play as the other two characters.
Right. Well,
That's how much I play as it.
I'm fine with it. So they all have different abilities. I was kind of impressed to see this when I was just doing a little bit of research on the game before we sat down today. So Blaze is the fastest, and then we have different levels of power and jump. Actually,
when you go from Blaze to everyone else, you can definitely notice how weak her punches are. But I like her fast movement and high jumps. I think mobility is really useful in any beat 'em up.
Yeah.
At least it suits my playstyle way better.
All right, I'm going to give Axel a shot here. So we'll go ahead and hop in. So this is a classic side-scrolling beat-em-up, obviously, for the Genesis or Mega Drive, depending on the country you're from. And this is kind of like Sega Genesis's Final Fight, right?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. Now, recently I was sort of on your stream, and you had said that you weren't a big fan of Final Fight, especially sort of compared to Streets of Rage.
I love Final Fight on the arcade, but this... Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, we can't hurt each other.
Yeah, we can't hurt each other. But the Super Nintendo version, I am not a big fan of.
Right. And why was that again?
Well, for starters, there's no player 2, but that's not the main reason. First off, it's missing 2 levels. I think that the music was a bit downgraded in my opinion, and so the sound effects, and it was a launch game for Super Nintendo, right? You can tell, it's missing a lot of animations, a lot of content. So I figured it could have been better. Sorry. There you go. This is gonna take some getting used to.
We're gonna have to get used to the fact that we can hurt each other here.
Yeah. There you go.
So we are just like a couple of ex-cops who have had enough, and we've decided to take the law into our own hands. Is that sort of the idea here?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Who knew? It's kind of funny too, because back in the 80s that used to be such a huge cliche in movies and games.
And these guys do not look like cops.
Yeah, at all.
They're young, attractive. They could be models.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. As everyone knows, there are absolutely no cops who are young or attractive. I'm kidding.
This is the kind of game where you kind of have to divide the top and bottom screen, I think.
But the thing is, this game does allow for some interesting co-op play. Like, for example, you could grab one character while the other player punches him, and there are combo moves.
Okay. Oh, look at that!
Example,
I just kicked the guy while the bad guy held me.
Yeah, exactly. You can actually grab your player, and then the other player kicks the enemy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
right, we actually just had a little bit of a disconnection there, and we have since reconnected, and we're sort of back earlier in the level a little bit, but...
yeah, no worries.
That's okay, oops.
I love this game's music. It's so 90s club life. Oops, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, this game, I mean, all Sega Genesis games, I think, have, like, a really good, a really solid soundtrack. Not all, but a lot of them.
Yeah, like a lot of people really hate some of the more typical Genesis music. They usually call it the Genesis twang, as it's known.
I actually like the...
Oh, but that's because we haven't played the ones with the really bad soundtracks. Like, for example, the first X-Men game. That one sounds pretty bad.
Oh, you know, I think I remember that. I think there was like a kid in my grade who like showed it to me once.
The game itself is decent, not great, but decent. But the OST is pretty bad. Although the sequel is much better.
Right.
And super expensive. Ooh, pipes.
There you go. Yeah, I love the sort of like Genesis kind of like it's sort of like an electric guitar sound.
Yeah.
You know, like you can totally tell a Nintendo game from a Sega Genesis game almost on the music alone.
That's what I like about this era. Like you can tell one console from the other just either by looking at it or by hearing it. Like they had such a personality.
Alrighty, so we disconnected yet again. We're not going to let these disconnections stop us, guys. I mean, I feel like this first level is just a bunch of retro goodness, so hopefully you're just enjoying watching us beating up thugs, because you're going to get to see a bit more now. But I think we finally got it working, and it's going to work this time. So, Gonz, when we got cut off there previously, you were talking about what you liked about in terms of fighting.
So, like I was saying, like the cool thing about this game is that you can use like the throwing maneuvers to co-op each other. Like I can grab a guy and you punch him, for example, that sort of thing.
Right.
And you can also grab a guy and then throw him against other enemies, for example. It has a nice variety of moves.
Yeah. So is this a game that you actually owned back in the day, or?
Well, the thing is, I never owned a Mega Drive as a kid. I played it at friends' houses and that sort of thing because my parents didn't want to buy me consoles because my grades would suffer and whatnot. But yeah, I played a lot of this game as a kid because this game was part of a compilation pack for the Sega Genesis, which came. Well, it was part of a lot of compilation packs, which came with. Now I'm pinching the air a lot. Hold on. Okay. Which came with a lot of the cartridge came with about either 3 to 6 games, and this was a part of a lot of compilations. So as a result, like everyone owned this game because everybody owned one of the compilations. Right.
Yeah. I actually so my physical copy of this is on a compilation. It's It's the compilation that has Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, I think it has like Revenge of Shinobi, Columns.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's actually like a really great combination. It's
it is
Genesis multi-card or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool that was an official product.
Right? They were pretty great for when it came to compilations.
So okay. So what are your thoughts on why on Final Fight versus Streets of Rage?
Well, that's kind of hard to answer. I mean, are we comparing like Streets of Rage? Are we comparing like Final Fight for the Super Nintendo or the arcade game?
I would say
there are some differences.
I would say Super Nintendo, just because we're thinking home consoles. I don't think there was no arcade release of this game, was there? Or?
No. I mean, there was one, but it was basically just a Sega Genesis with a coin-op mechanism. So
okay,
it was the same game, yeah.
Right.
So basically, I think my favorite game is without a doubt Streets of Rage 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because in fact, I think Streets of Rage 2 is like my third favorite beat 'em up ever made. So that's just how high it ranks.
That's high praise.
Yeah, it is a really great beat 'em up, like the best you'll ever play.
Okay.
The Dungeons and Dragons games from Capcom on the arcade. Those are
I remember those. I remember kids with like line quarters up
I have like the physical edition version for the PS3, which only launched in Japan, so I'm really happy with that.
Right.
So after that, I'd say it comes the original Streets of Rage, this one we're playing right now, and then comes every Final Fight for the Super Nintendo, and then in the absolute last place, I would put in Streets of Rage 3.
Really? So Streets of Rage 2 is one of your favorites. Streets of Rage 3 is one of your least favorites.
Streets of Rage 3, it's not a bad beat 'em up, but it's not a good one either, in my opinion.
Right. Now, why such the difference?
Honestly,
oh wait, are we at a boss? Oh god, we're at Boomerang Dudes.
Yeah, I have no idea why they changed so much in the third game. Like the game is way too fast for its own good, and I feel like the graphics were also a bit downgraded in my opinion. And just I don't know. I don't really like the game. It just doesn't flow properly.
Yeah.
Even the music is much worse.
It's funny how with sequels sometimes, like I kind of totally know what you mean. Like, okay, I actually did like the Super Nintendo Final Fight, but you know, it being one player was like a big drawback to it.
Yeah.
But I've tried some of the Final Fight sequels, and they feel very different, and I'm not sure how much I like them. You know.
I think the issue I have with the Final Fight games on the Super Nintendo is that they allow for very few characters on screen.
Right.
Like,
yeah, because there's too high res of graphics for each character.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, Final Fight 1 allows for 5 characters on screen if you count the player.
Right.
So that's you versus 4 people. Final Fight 2 downgrades that to 2 players and 3 enemies, so not a lot of enemies on screen. And Final Fight 3, again, 3 enemies, but this time you have an AI player, so it's almost like a one-on-one fighting game at that point.
Yeah, it's true. I actually kind of prefer the more pixelated sort of characters that I'm seeing right now, anyway.
Yeah. For example, just to give you an idea, there are some levels in this game where you'll see as many as 12 enemies on screen at the same time. Yeah, that's a huge difference.
That is. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Oh, you'll be.
Yeah.
It's gonna actually pretty easy in my opinion.
Okay, so yeah, that was one question I was gonna have for you. Is do you think we're gonna beat this today?
Yeah, we're gonna beat it.
Yeah.
Well, we are gonna beat it. This game is actually fairly accessible. Final Fight is actually much harder, and that is something I prefer in Final Fight over Streets of Rage. At least the first one.
Oh, are these extra lives?
Yes, they are.
Huh, I thought they were little voodoo dolls.
What I like, I actually didn't remember this, but apparently the level is a bit different. It's giving us twice of every weapon, twice of every item.
Ah, because there's 2 players.
Yeah, I didn't know the game did this, or I didn't remember it at least.
That's pretty cool. That's actually one complaint I have sometimes for games like this, where if you throw another player in, now you're both fighting over limited resources, you know? Like, who gets the health? Who gets the weapons?
and then you have like the age-old discussion, like, what is the least favorable condition? Having a higher life but low health, or like a high life but high health with very few lives, and then it becomes a very weird discussion.
Yep.
Whoops! There we go.
Boom. Oh wait, I didn't even need that.
It's okay. I'm at full life too.
Yeah, I'm getting confused as to which life bar belongs to which of us.
I think yours is the right. Okay. Yeah,
now you need an apple. Just a light kick to the back of the head there. Just keep you on your toes.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I hate this guy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, we got him. We got him.
Those torches.
Yep.
Also, you can summon like a police car if you want to, which will fire like a grenade or something.
Right. When I was messing around with the buttons, trying to like map my controller properly, I think I was doing that, and like here I'll do it just for fun. We don't need it, but just so people see.
Yeah, such a classic.
Yeah.
One cool thing is I think the weapon changed depending on which character you're playing.
Yeah, I saw a bazooka when I did it.
Yeah.
This was like a chain gun of bullets. Or I mean, I don't know if that's regular cop, you know.
I actually have no idea which triggers what cop car, but I think it's based on the character. But I'm not
right.
sure.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
It's because I was playing as Blaze, so...
Right. What's Blaze's? Is it a bazooka?
Yeah, it's a bazooka.
In the bazooka, yeah. It's kind of like Golden Axe. How like all the characters in Golden Axe summon like a different magical thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're actually getting 2 bosses instead of 1 because it's a 2-player mode.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not just like twin bosses.
Yeah. It's because there's 2 of us.
Gotcha. Well, I think we can do this.
Yeah, we can do this. We totally got this.
Claw guys. Oh, damn. I think I just died.
Oops.
Jeez.
Oh, then.
Okay, I'm summoning, calling in the big guns.
I was gonna do that as well.
Like, what kind of cop precinct just has chain guns and bazookas on call?
I don't know, but I don't want to be there.
Yeah. That's like hardcore policing. Alright, well, we both died once, but I'm considering that a victory.
If you're a cop with chain guns and bazookas, then why would you actually quit the police force and start beating up crooks with your own hands? I'm just saying, it seems like a downgrade to me.
Yeah. Well, these guys are ex-cops, so...
Yeah, but like they had bazookas, like just go right ahead and kill everyone.
Yeah, but maybe the like police chief was like anti-bazooka in his you know.
Yeah, but apparently your coworkers don't think the same.
That's true. I don't know. I don't know why these guys stopped being cops. Fists are more effective than bazookas in this world.
I love the music in this game.
Yeah, the music is quite cool.
Like, it really fits the game, like because you're always on nightclubs and the city's nightclub. It just fits it really well.
And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the soundtrack for this game like pretty well regarded at the time? Like,
yeah, it was. Supposedly, like the composer even started doing like DJ like job in there because of the sound of this game.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And actually, what the guy did basically was he copied a lot of popular songs from the 90s, like a lot of disco songs and R&B songs and rap and whatever. And he stole their melodies basically. And like so, every song you hear in this game is like a weird Frankenstein of several songs from the 90s. In fact, I have a video to show you after this. You'll see what I mean.
Okay.
Like there's a bit of Janet Jackson here and a bit of seriously, there's a bit of everything here.
There is a what was the woman who was on oh god, that show where everyone went and sang and tried to be like very famous with Simon, and he would make fun of everyone.
Yeah. She was hold on, I know her name.
Oh god, it's like on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, same here. I know who she is. Damn it.
It's not. I keep wanting to say Janet Jackson. I hate it when that happens. It's totally not Janet Jackson.
It's not Janet Jackson. I know. You better pick up the meter.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Damn it. I know her name.
Well, anyway, probably the people listening know her. She had a couple songs in the 80s that like were done on Yamaha keyboards, and they honestly sound to me like Sega Genesis songs. Like if you
a lot of the soundtracks on the Sega Genesis were done on Yamaha keyboards.
Right, yeah, and I think that's totally why.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting that like there's sort of the 80s sometimes had a bit of a Sega Genesis sound to it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh god, stop punching me.
What's her name? Okay, I'm still stuck on that.
Paula Abdul? Is it Paula Abdul?
Paula Abdul,
yeah,
that's it. That's the one. That's her name.
Yeah. So when you were saying where like all your favorite fighter games ranked, did you mention where Golden Axe falls?
Oh no, I was just saying like comparing Streets of Rage to Final Fight. That's how I was ranking.
Right.
If you got Golden Axe, I don't know. I think here's the thing. I love Golden Axe 1, but I honestly, that's one of the rare cases where I have no idea of how much of it is nostalgia and how much of it is the actual game.
Yeah.
Like, there is one game where I can perfectly tell you I have no idea if the game is actually good or not. I love it.
I played Golden Axe 1 not too long ago.
Yeah.
Well, I guess a couple months ago now. And I do love Golden Axe 1, but at the same time, it was not as good as I remember when I was replaying it. Oh,
yeah, that's... you got hit by the wrestler.
Yeah, I wanted to use my special before that happened, but I'm like dead in midair.
Yeah.
Alright. Fine, it'll be that way, eh? But I know what you mean, where like sometimes there's games that like you have lots of really fond memories of, and you do like going back and replaying, but it's hard to say if it's nostalgia or it's like legit good, you know?
I absolutely love Golden Axe. And here's the thing. I used to play that game on the computer because I didn't have a console back then. My parents didn't want to buy me one, but they did. But they had on a computer because, they assumed computers would be good for work, for homework.
Right.
And that sort of stuff. So I played a lot of Golden Axe on PCs. And I discovered something really interesting. That you can take the game's files, change their names, and play as any character the entire game. So you can play as a final boss.
Oh, really?
You can play as a dragon. And you can even play as a dragon, riding a dragon that shoots dragons.
That's hilarious.
I actually made a video about that. I really recommend checking it out when you get the chance. Yeah.
A dragon riding a dragon who fights dragons.
Who shoots dragons.
Who shoots dragons.
Instead of shooting instead of shooting fireballs, you shoot dragons.
That's kind of awesome.
You can even be like, those little thieves that drop potions and pieces of meat.
Yep.
You can be a piece of meat fighting other pieces of meat if you want to.
Meat on meat. Wow.
Yeah.
This is the PC version or the Sega Genesis version on an emulator?
The PC version, the NS-DOS version.
That's pretty cool.
All you gotta do is rename files.
Right. I remember doing little things like that back when I had a computer. I'd mess around with. Yeah. Especially on DOS, it was really easy. You mess around with the files.
Yeah. Exactly. Like a lot of games, they actually have files named if you're playing Street Fighter 2, you have files named Ryu, Ken, Blanca,
right?
That sort of thing. So you can just rename stuff.
Make it whatever you want.
I tried that with Street Fighter 2, and the characters would just spaz out completely. But they would start you have Ryu doing M Bison special attacks, for example. It was awesome.
It's pretty cool. So I don't know if you ever notice retro games in TV very much, but I kind of remember I saw this one not too long ago in a Netflix show. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Which one?
Do you watch Narcos?
No, certainly I don't.
No, okay. The one about sort of Pablo Escobar and stuff like that. And yeah, I just there's a scene where there's a kid who's playing this, and I feel like I don't see retro games in TV shows or movies nearly as much as I wish I did anymore. Very true. Every time I see something like that, it instantly kind of stands out to me.
I know what you mean. I think Stranger Things has a few retro games here and there, but it's most I think it's most stuff like Pac-Man or just the really popular stuff.
Right. Yeah, I think
go on. I think the most interesting thing I've ever seen a game on a movie was during I think it was Charlie's Angels, the first one, and you see two kids playing the original playing Final Fantasy VIII on the PS1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then you have both kids picking up the controller, playing what is essentially a one-player RPG. And I'm like, yeah, guys, you're not fooling anyone.
Yeah. It's like the scenes in movies where they have one character driving and they've just got the steering wheel and they're just moving it back and forth.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's not how people drive.
Yeah, you're kind of surrounded.
Yeah.
Or you were.
I was. I fought my way out of it.
Yeah, right.
So we fought our way. We started in a nightclub district. Then we had a dark alley. Then we fought our way on a beach.
Yeah, I have no idea what's the story behind each level. Though.
Yeah, I feel like they're taking a very indirect route to wherever they're going.
Yeah, why couldn't you just drive there?
Yeah. Or what a weird series of. You can go ahead and grab it. What a weird series of like places that need to be cleaned up.
Yeah. And what I'm gonna say, that's some pretty nice line scroll in the background too, like the water effect.
Oh yeah. Yep. Good old school.
You better grab that thing.
Yeah, I will.
Try to keep them busy for you.
Sweet. Nothing's more satisfying than having like a sliver of life left and then getting like a full health power up.
Yeah. Although I have to say, I have to wonder how hygienic it is to eat like a big piece of meat you find on a bridge. But what else?
You don't eat random pieces of meat out of broken oil drums?
No, I mean, I haven't done that since my college days.
Yeah. Wow, picky.
Back when I was 4.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Boss fight. Oh, I hate these guys. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, here's a quick tip. You can't attack them from the front. You need to do it from behind.
Okay.
And you can't throw them. If you throw them, you're gonna get damaged.
Okay. Noted.
So yeah,
I'm gonna use my thing too.
This is gonna take some
teamwork.
Some careful teamwork. Yeah.
Okay. We haven't tried teamwork yet, so let's see if we can do it.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, well,
the special takes a lot of damage.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Oh damn it! I threw him. I didn't want to do that.
Oh, but you knocked him down.
Okay, never mind. I think the special is gonna.
Yeah, the specials are gonna carry us. I'll take it. I'm not above a cheap victory.
Exactly. Yeah.
Boom! Look at all that skill. That was old school retro gaming skill, guys.
Damn right.
So is this a game that you... or actually, I guess you said you didn't own this as a kid. I was going to ask if it was a game you could beat.
But I played it a lot as a kid.
Oh, yeah, on computer though, right?
No. I played this one on friends' houses because they own this game.
Oh, okay.
Now, see how many enemies we got right now? Like 6.
Oh, yeah.
Right
6 plus us.
There's a lot of fish like this now.
Right. Now they're setting out the big guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's actually 2 endings in this game. There's the good ending, and there's one where one of the players decides to join the bad guys, and then he becomes the good crime king.
Okay, so my secret confession is I knew that about the game, and I was hoping to. I always hope to play this one 2 players so that we could get to the end and fight each other.
Oh,
and see.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Yeah, we're doing the bad ending.
We're doing the bad ending.
Yeah, man.
There is one other game that does something similar to this, but I think it's way better, which is Contra Hardcore for the Sega Genesis.
Okay.
That game has like 8 endings, and there's one where you become like the new evil overlord as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another ending where you travel back in time and marry a monkey.
What?
Yeah, you heard me right. There is a secret ending where you travel back in time. You're stuck there because you fought a Simon Belmont from the future, and then you're stuck in prehistoric ages. So you marry a monkey.
What?
Yes.
Simon Belmont. Yes. This is a Contra game.
Yes, it's a Contra game where you fight a robotic Simon Belmont, and then you get stuck in a time warp, and you marry a monkey.
Interesting.
And you can play as a female character, and if you reach that ending, you will still marry a female monkey. So she's the first lesbian character in the game, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Not only the first. Whoops. Sorry.
The first interspecies marriage and lesbian marriage. Contra is so progressive.
I was gonna say, yeah, not only the first lesbian female, but there's a lesbian monkey. There's the interspecies marriage. They ticked a lot off the box in that one game. They're like, we're going for everything. We're doing it all.
The game is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate these.
These are like
they pretend to die and then fall down. I hate that.
These are like dominatrixes or something. Oops, sorry.
Yep. You know how Japan loves dominatrixes. Like,
yeah.
No, I'm not even kidding. You see them a lot in games and anime and whatever. I'm not even kidding at this point.
Did they this is the American version, right? Like they didn't censor this in North America. Well,
this was early Sega. Early Sega was a lot less likely to censor stuff. I mean, there's actually an early Sega Genesis game in which when you save the girl, she appears to you completely naked, and they didn't censor that. But then they made a re-release of that game, and then she's floated when you save her.
Right. Well,
I think it's Mystic Guardian, Mystic something. I can't remember the name right now.
Interesting. Yeah, because I know in Final Fight, the arcade version had... didn't the arcade version have like a transgendered character or something like that? And they just turned it into skinny men for the Super Nintendo
pretty
version.
much. Like the thing is, she was meant to be female at first, I think, but then they wanted to get around some censorship even in the arcades, so they just said it was a man.
Right.
And so she canonically became a man after that, I think.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're getting a lot of them now.
Yeah. This is
but
their.
Yeah, but that wasn't the only censorship in the Super Nintendo version. Like in the arcade version, like you know the intro when you see the girl being tied up or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
In the arcade version, you see her bra, but in the Super Nintendo version, she's wearing a dress, I think.
Oh. Interesting. I always remember as a kid, it was like whenever you saw like those racy scenes, you're always like, ooh, you know, like.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's
again,
like.
I did play a lot of computer games back then, and those were a lot more. They were a lot less censored.
Right.
Like I played a game called Stormlord, which is also on the Sega Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
The Genesis version is censored, but on the PC version, there are a lot of female characters exposing their breasts. So PC gaming had a lot of that. And then, of course, there were games like Leisure Suit Larry, which I wasn't supposed to play, but my parents didn't know.
I remember having that game. That game that was like the raunchiest you could get without getting into like real adult.
That was a game way raunchy, but I only watched in my country, and I'm not even going to talk about it because if I did, I think you'd get like banned from YouTube if I talk about it.
Right.
I'm not even kidding. Like, it's the raunchiest game I've ever seen on a retro system.
Right. I just meant Leisure Suit Larry was like as raunchy as you could get without like really getting into like adult content.
We're not getting the point there. Okay,
yeah, exactly. I remember with Leisure Suit Larry, there's that quiz ahead of time that you had to answer before you could play the game. Yeah. And I had like a big notebook, and I would just guess all the answers. And whenever I guessed it right, I would write down what the answer is. And oh, sorry.
I remember I had like a Street Fighter 2 for MS-DOS, and I only did like 3 answers. So every time I played, I just like the same 3 answers over and over again, hoping one time I'd get it right eventually.
There was a censorship on Street Fighter 3 for.
No, but it had it was basically a copy protection.
Copy protection. Sort of yeah.
And my version was copied, so I only like 2 or 3 words from it.
Right. Man, remember the days when you would have to like look up in like a big chart that came in your manual, like column B, row V or whatever, and like. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get this.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this one too. Oh god, okay. I shouldn't have got it.
Yeah, he totally just sucker punched you.
Yeah. Oh, use your special before you die.
Yeah, but I did.
You got 2 of them.
Yeah, but have you noticed, like, now the bosses are regular enemies?
Yeah, like this guy was a boss before. Now he's just.
Also, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be the Ultimate Warrior.
I think he's about to kill me, so.
I don't know if you know about that wrestler, the Ultimate Warrior from.
Yeah, Ultimate Warrior. So I know Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. I don't know if I can picture Ultimate Warrior.
Well, he was a little who kept saying stuff like, "I'm gonna load up this ship with the rocket fuel, and I'm gonna kick your ass, Hulk Hogan."
Oh, damn it. Got me.
Yeah, no, I never watched wrestling. I only know about that guy in particular because he was just absolutely insane.
I remember a lot of kids in my school were like super into wrestling back in the day.
I never cared much for it. Even as a kid, it always seemed so fake to me.
I mean, that's what I thought, but people had those action figures that were like rubber.
Oh, I hated those.
And they'd have like the little wrestling ring where you could like put your rubber fighters in.
Yeah.
And...
Oh, I'm gonna fire it. Hey, look, it's copies of me.
Ah.
Now, the best way to fight these two is by hitting the punch and jump button on the girl behind you.
Oh, so you punch the one who's behind you.
Yeah, that's the best way to fight this one.
Right.
Oops.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's really hard to pull off that attack.
Yeah. I'm thinking like, thank God for these specials, because I don't think we fought one boss fight like legitimately.
and now I'm gonna use my special after you get it.
They just have no shot. Also, there's a police car on a boat.
On a boat, yeah.
Is he just driving behind us the whole time, ready at a moment's notice to like...
Exactly. Like, I didn't even get the car on the freaking boat. There we go, one's dead.
There we go. Easy!
Yeah, I'm right.
Second most satisfying thing is passing a level where you have almost no health and you get full health again.
But then the most frustrating thing is when you discover the game doesn't heal you back on the next level.
Oh.
This one does. But you know when that happens?
Yeah. No, that is frustrating.
Yeah.
It feels like you're entitled to that as a gamer.
Yeah. Like you earned it.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is probably my least favorite level in the game.
Okay.
Because I don't really like the little conveyor belts, and there's going to be some some pressure pads and stuff like that. I'm generally not really fond of that.
Where are we even anyway? Like
a factory,
some kind of weird factory.
Yeah.
So they manufacture
like in this sequel, discovered that they're manufacturing robots and whatever. You know, this really.
Oh yeah, of course, standard stuff.
In this one, I don't think there are any robots in this one.
No. Well, they're still making them. They're in the prototype phase right now. It's interesting how you can like jump over the bad guys.
Yeah.
It's like stand still. I want to do a move.
So how popular was the Sega Genesis in your country, or at least in your surroundings?
Yeah. So I think Sega Genesis was pretty popular. So I'm from Canada, in case anyone doesn't know.
Yeah.
And when I was on your stream a few weeks back, I remember we sort of talked about this briefly, and I think I said at the time that
there's a pressure pad here. See?
Oh yeah. Oh geez. Okay. So avoid that.
Yeah.
I think I said at the time that I kind of liken it to Coke versus Pepsi, where Nintendo was the Coke and Sega Genesis was the Pepsi. So it was popular. Many people preferred, Genesis to Nintendo, but I think Nintendo was just more out there. It was just more popular. More people tended to have it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
In my country, Sega ruled, and by rule I mean like they had like 80 to 90% of the market.
And that just boggles my mind. And you're from Portugal, right?
Yeah. Like even, these guys are really nice. It's like even the Sega Saturn was extremely popular in my country. Even also the Nintendo 64 here.
Wow, yeah, and that's crazy. Because the Sega Saturn didn't outsell the N64 where I was from. The N64 was a wild success.
And the Master System also outsold the NES in my country, so we have a long history of Sega being popular.
Yeah.
I would also say, I would go as far as to say that even the Dreamcast outsold the GameCube. I would go. I'm not sure, but I would go as far as to say that as well.
So Sega really had its fingers in a lot of pies in Portugal. Yeah,
like there were a lot of. It's kind of interesting because in Europe, like each country had their own little mini universe or mini market. It was like there are many console wars, and the outcomes were completely different depending on which country you're in.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, when I was a kid, I, just assumed everything was just like where I was from, right? So it's like, Nintendo's just number one. That's just how it is. Sega, lots of people have it, but it's just not quite as popular. But, we were talking about multi-carts before. I do remember as a kid that, like, there'd always be a couple kids in my class whose, like, dads did business overseas or something. And sometimes they would come back with games that I'd never heard of, or like these NES multi-carts that were totally illegal, but they would have like 50 games on them or something like that.
I played a bunch of those as a kid.
Yeah. Those were always pretty cool.
Yeah, in fact, my first console actually, here's the thing, the closest thing I had to a console as a kid was one of those NES clones you see around these days.
Yep.
But my parents bought it in 1990, so the NES was still out in the market when they bought it. And it came with 42 Japanese NES games in its memory.
Oh, nice.
They were very early NES games, and most of them never even launched in the West. But yeah, like Super Mario Brothers was probably the latest music it had in there. So that's how early the games were.
That's still pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
I played a lot of them. I still have it too. It still works.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Who knew a Famicom clone would be so durable?
Right.
Oh,
boom.
Oh, look at that. The miracle of technology.
Yeah. So we just had another disconnection there, guys. We are playing this game remotely over a program called RetroArch, which is actually pretty cool because it lets you play these old retro games online with your friends. But
now your fan base will know that you didn't travel to Portugal to play with me.
I think they could have figured that one out. They might have been able to put 2 and 2 together on that one. I'll grab that, sure.
Yeah, you better get it. I'm low on health, so...
Yeah. But yeah, so it is cool that you can play these games online, but it is a little bit of a hassle. Like, we've been having some troubles here.
Yeah.
We've probably spent about as much time playing the game as we've spent setting up the game.
Yeah.
Which just shows our dedication, guys.
But at least it shows it is possible, and that hopefully it will only get easier in the future.
Yeah, that's true.
Like as new versions crop up and improvements and fixes and whatever.
Yep. And like I have to say, like we're playing online together, I don't notice any lag really. Like
I notice like a bit of weird lag sometimes, but it's very small.
Yeah.
Like the screen sometimes jerks.
Oops.
Like from one side to the other a bit inconsistently.
Okay.
But it's very small. It's very small.
I don't notice that on my end.
Oops.
Whoop, here we go. This kind of reminds me of the level in Contra, the like second last level.
Okay, yeah, you better catch that.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, that's basically why I hate this level. I don't like the whole pressure pads thing. They just slow the game down for me. Yeah.
Well, you just want to be beating guys up.
Exactly.
You're a very violent person.
That's why I play video games.
That's true. Gets out all that pent-up aggression. Remember when parents, like, I don't know if your parents were like this, but I remember, like, back in the day, parents were so concerned about, like, you know, we're playing games where you beat people up.
I think my parents just realized these were basically toys. They didn't really care.
Right.
It's like, what's the difference between owning this and owning, like, a Spider-Man action figure or whatever?
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I guess, like, there must have been a time when even Spider-Man was controversial.
I mean, yeah, probably there was a time when comic books were controversial. Like there was that whole censorship in comic books in the US. Like,
that's
in the 70s,
true.
60s,
Yeah, and everything got like really comically softcore.
Yeah, pretty much.
Take this guy out. Boom.
You know, we also never really had the whole video games are corrupting our youth scare like they had in the US with the whole which created the ESRB and whatever. We never really had that.
I feel like the US is extreme in that sense because like I don't think in Canada people were as worried. But like people in the US got crazy about like worried about violence and stuff.
Oh, Night Trap is pornography. It's disgusting. Whatever.
It's funny how tame it is nowadays.
Yeah, right?
Like compared to the things people play now.
Mortal Kombat is corrupting our youth.
Yeah. Oh man, you took out like 8 guys. You're just like pummeling them into a corner. Alright, I'll take out this one guy. Oh no, okay. I thought you were gonna take him too.
sorry. No, it's my instinct.
It's okay. It's like tearing into them.
You know what I really like about this song we're listening right now?
Mm-hmm.
It's using both of the Sega Genesis sound chips. Like it has 2. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't even know the Sega Genesis had 2 sound chips.
basically, there's the Sega Genesis sound chip, which is usually called a 6-channel one, and then it also has the Master System sound chip, which is supposed to be used for backwards compatibility. With the Master System. And some games and some songs use both chips at the same time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't there an add-on for the Sega Genesis that you could like plug Master System cards into the Genesis?
I own that. Yeah, I own it. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And that's actually the only thing that add-on does is like changing the shape of the input cartridge.
Huh.
Like that's the only thing it does. There are absolutely no components inside it besides that.
Right. That's pretty good. So the Genesis literally is a Master System that's just been beefed up.
Like not quite. It's more like inside the Genesis there's a tiny little Master System.
Oh, okay.
And they can work in tandem. Like the Master System CPU controls the sound for the Sega Genesis. Like so they found something for it to do, so it's not just sitting there doing nothing. And then they added the Master System sound chip and color palette. So yeah, it's all there.
Huh.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a 16-bit console and an 8-bit console all in one. And I guess that's why it has faster processing too.
Right.
CPUs. Oh, sorry. My bad.
That's okay. Yeah. Maybe that's what they meant with blast processing all those years ago. It's 2 consoles in one.
I think the NES was supposed to get something like the Super Nintendo was going to get something like that as well. Like people have analyzed the hardware and saw that there were a lot of NES components there that aren't really used. But I'm guessing Nintendo never found a way to
use
create backwards compatibility.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool to have if the Super Nintendo had like an add-on where you could play Nintendo or something.
Yeah, it would have been awesome.
I mean, they have the Super Game Boy, so
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like it would have. It's just funny because Sega fans wish that Genesis had a Game Gear adapter,
right?
And now Nintendo fans wish that the SNES had a Nintendo adapter,
right? Yeah, the Game Gear, actually, now that you mention it, I'm surprised that they did not have an add-on for the Genesis or something, because that had like a pretty big library, and it was all colored and everything, like it would look good. Yeah.
I think the reason why it didn't was because the Game Gear actually has more colors than the Sega Genesis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like I mean, it can't display them all at the same time, but it can display more colors. Like it has a wider color palette.
Right. Huh. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why. I think that's why they couldn't do it.
Interesting. I just always assume that the mobile, the portable consoles are just less powerful than the home consoles.
In theory, they're supposed to be, but in this one regard, the portable console was actually more powerful than the main one, which is really impressive.
I know the Genesis controllers can be used on Ataris, the old Ataris, like the ports are compatible.
Yeah, I think there's and also on Amiga computers and Atari ST. It's basically like a generic
right.
A generic, but I don't know what to call it. A generic input, so I guess.
Right, like it's almost like USB before USB. It was just sort of like very commonly used.
I know the 3DO use the same inputs, but they actually put in some sort of protection lock, so you can't just insert like a agent's controller or whatever.
It's kind of interesting because like even these days, like Nintendo did not do that. Nintendo's controller ports have always been proprietary, and like even these days with like the Nintendo Mini and stuff, they don't use USB. They use their own proprietary.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Because I don't want to Switch yet. Why? I really want one.
Yeah. Actually, I think the Switch uses, USB-C, but it's a non-standard USB-C. So if you do get a Switch, don't buy a third-party dock because it can mess your Switch up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I did not know that.
Because it does not use...
Yeah, you take it.
No, I have more lives. Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. See, we're being very civil about the power-ups, guys.
Yeah.
This is not how it worked back in the day as a kid.
No, it was not.
You'd usually kill the other guy just to get an apple.
Damn right. We're going to kill each other very soon.
Yeah, we're working our way up to it. We're being all polite right now.
We're already at the final boss. So
oh, man, that guy just got on. This is the final level?
It is.
It snuck up on me.
It's a pretty short game.
Yeah, totally doable. Man,
It is. It's very doable.
We have like 10 lives between us.
The sequel is much harder. I should mention that.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it. Not that this game is like a pushover, but like it is, like it's doable. It's doable, right? Boomerang guy.
There we go, Boomerang Jack. I have no idea if that's his name though.
How did Boomerang Jack fall into a life of crime, I wonder? What a sad story. He had such a promising career as a boomerangist.
He once he finished college, he realized there was no money to be made in boomerangs.
Yeah. He's like, what did I major in?
What have I done with my life?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh crap. Okay.
Oh god.
Yeah, just look at how many characters are on screen right now.
This is a lot.
It's kind of crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Back off, buddy. Oh. It sucks when they come up and just sucker punch you and you drop your weapon.
Yeah,
oh, I think I smacked you.
That's it. No, it's okay. That's actually why I really like this sort of rage game. At some points, it can have so many characters, it gets pretty intense.
Yeah. And you're saying that probably there's double the enemies on the screen because there's two of us, or it's just like doubling bosses?
No. If you were playing alone, you would still get the same number of enemies. Right now.
Oh, okay.
So you could be playing alone and be fighting like 10 enemies, for example.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna get that thing really quickly.
Yep.
But the bosses are doubled.
That's pretty cool. I've never heard of a game doing that.
Yeah, I didn't know the game did that.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that I misremember it, but I don't think I am.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a few years since I played the first game. Usually I just go straight to the sequel. But I don't think it did that at least.
Ooh.
Yeah, you better catch that.
Yeah, I will grab that.
Okay, there were two. It's kind of cool how the game gives you two of these too as well.
Yeah. Well, they know you're hungry. Been beating up a lot of guys.
Meat.
Sweet, delicious floor meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Meat from a dirty old carpet.
But it's not even. It was like in a food tray, but it wasn't on the food tray. It was like under the food tray. I guess
what do you mean on the food tray? What are we?
Yeah.
Some kind of animals. We're not barbarians.
I think they don't understand how food trays work.
Yeah, meat on the floor. That's where it belongs. That's what we do in my country.
Also, I like how our characters can just down a ham in like 2 seconds. And
yeah, when you're fighting crime, you got to eat fast.
Yeah, apparently. And like I've eaten ham before, I don't feel like healed. Ham doesn't have like a healing. I feel full.
Literally, we need to do a study on ham's healing properties.
Yeah. Ah, curative ham. Heals what ails you. Heals punch wounds.
A ham a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, apparently. Oh, they're not giving us power-ups here. We can't use our special move.
Oh, that's right. The last level doesn't have them. That's true.
Yeah, I guess they couldn't fit the car in the door here.
Yeah. This car can go through. Can be on a ship, but not on a building.
At least they're pretty generous with the health too. Actually.
Yeah.
There's many games you would play back in these days that like you'd get like one full health the whole level.
Yeah. With the knife.
Huh.
Oh, damn it. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
My bad.
We're dominatrix. Kick her in
I was
the
saying
gut.
before, Japan does have a weird thing with dominatrix. I don't know if you watch anime, but they have a lot of dominatrix characters in kids anime.
In kids? Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's played for laughs, but you will see a lot of like female characters with whips and have like dominatrix attitudes.
I mean, it makes sense. Japan has always sort of just been like a little more open about all that stuff.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, then.
Damn. Oh no!
Oh. Don't you die on me.
Trying not to. Oh man. Now I'm not so sure we're gonna beat the last level.
We gotta fight this crime lords. God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm the one dying.
Oh jeez. I need. Where's my super cheap super weapon?
Yeah, we need no more of that. No more cheating, sadly.
Ugh. Oh, I went to throw him and he landed on me.
Yeah, you can throw these.
Yeah, in fact, I didn't even do it intentionally.
You got it between them.
There we go. I guess it's realistic if you try and like throw a really big guy.
Man, we lost a lot of lives here.
Yeah. Man, I was so cocky at the beginning of this level. Now I'm like, are we even gonna see the last boss?
I don't know.
Oh jeez.
Oh, I need the floor meat. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
It's refreshing floor meats. There's another one. And they've like recruited a jester who juggles torches randomly.
Everybody knows jesters make the best crime lords.
Yeah. Crime was really appealing to him.
I mean, between being a crime lord and a jester, it's just a short hop and skip.
That's true. I mean, you're halfway to committing crimes once you enter the circus.
Yeah. Everybody knows that's what delinquents do these days.
Yeah.
They start dressing themselves as jesters and learning how to juggle balls and whatever.
Yeah, like ninjas, dominatrixes, like what a ragbag gang, you know?
Okay, I'm gonna get it. Okay,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
I think this gang was really just accepting anyone.
We have low standards.
Yeah, looking for anyone who likes crime.
Are you alive? You'll do it.
All I can do is juggle. Good enough. Get in here.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Can you imagine those guys asking protection money from stores? Give me some money or I'll juggle you to death.
It just feels like... Or like a guy walking around with a boomerang. I don't know. And this is a city so overrun by crime the cops can't handle it.
Oh no, he knows how to juggle.
Yeah. And he's got boomerangs.
He's got a boomerang, what will we do?
Oh no!
All I got is this gun.
Oh no!
Damn it. Come on. Okay, she's dead. No, she's not.
Oh, damn it. I got killed. Now the stakes are real.
Damn it. Yeah. Oh!
Oh, is it game over?
There's continues. I got continues.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Woo.
Okay.
Oh, and you get to continue right here. Oh, good.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to have to wait till I die and then, like, redo the level or something. Well, you know what? This game is very generous with the lives and continues.
The only thing that I'm not happy is that I lost my high score, but that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Yeah. Oh! Just tossing me around. It's interesting how we fight clones of you, but we never see, like, Axel or the other dude. Adam, I think it is?
Yeah. I'm guessing Blaze has twin sisters.
I guess so. Also, I haven't mentioned anything yet, but, like, is Blaze wearing pants? Because, like...
Yeah, she is.
Okay. It looks like she's literally just wearing a jacket.
Like, oh, no, sorry. I thought you said panties. Sorry, my bad. No, she's not wearing panties. She's wearing jackets and a short skirt.
Gotcha. I mean, that is a short skirt.
That is a short skirt, yes.
Doesn't get shorter than that.
Ooh, are we gonna fight each other?
Well, you found your way here. Would you consider becoming my right-hand man? We got to. We got to fight each other. So we both say yes?
I don't know. I think one has to say yes, and the other has to say no.
Okay, I'll say yes.
I'll say no.
Okay. After working as a team for so long, you part company. Now a fight to the death.
Damn right.
Do we get to, like, use up our continues and stuff, too?
I don't know.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. I got it.
I like how he's just chuckling to himself in the background.
Yeah. Fight for me. That's Oh!
Oh, yeah, you get to use more lives. All right.
Yeah, okay.
It's on.
Whoops.
What? I wonder if we're going to have to burn through, like, 3 continues each. To, like...
Oh, God. I hope not.
Nice.
It's a pretty neat Easter egg that you at the last minute.
Yeah, it's cool that they let you do this.
Yeah. We get these continues.
Okay, I'm gonna go to How do I select game over here? Oh. Because otherwise we'll do like a billion of these. Wait,
Okay.
I did it. There you go. Game over. All right, you defeated me.
Now let me see. You're no ordinary man. I'm older than you, you jackass. Why don't you join my organization? Oh crap! I said yes.
Oh.
I mean, no.
I told you, they're just taking anyone. They're like, you'll do.
Wait, what just happened?
I think.
Ah, what round 6?
What? There's a hidden level.
Oh!
Oh, you should have fought him. He tricked
I should
you.
have fought him.
He tricked you.
Yeah, I forgot. Now you gotta climb back all the whole thing, and then you'll ask him again, and then you can say yes, and you'll actually join him, I think.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I guess. So, are we getting the let's play?
Yeah, we'll start wrapping up. So you can keep playing for a second here, but yeah, wow. Oh, I thought we were at least gonna get to see someone sitting on that throne, but
I forgot about this part.
no, it's okay. I mean, I wouldn't even have known. I'm just happy we got to fight each other.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I feel like that indicates to me the developers knew what was going to go on between friends who played this. Because when you're playing a game like this and you have the ability to punch your friend, you're always going to get in little fights. And they actually integrate it into the game, which is cool.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to do this.
So I guess if we had said no, we both would have fought him and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But
so, was this game on your 1001 Games to Play for Your list?
no, actually, it wasn't, which is a reason. So this video, it's already out now if people are watching it, but it's coming out in my sort of supplementary series where I play games that are not in the 1001 book.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I've said this before, the book, although it has like a lot of classics, it's also missing some like pretty important games, I would say. Like,
yeah.
Even having never really grown up with this game, I probably would have put it on a list if I was making a list, because it's Streets of Rage, right? Like, it's so well known.
Next time you gotta try the sequel. Trust me. Okay,
Netplay just disconnected.
Yes, indeed.
All right, our Netplay just disconnected, so as we watch Gonz here get tossed around like a rag doll, I can wrap our thoughts up.
Yeah, just think of this as a parallel universe, because on my end, I'm tossing them around.
Yeah, so he says. But yeah, so I think this is a cool game. It sort of just screams classic Sega Genesis to me.
Oh yeah.
And I was happy that you were available to play around with this. So, Gonz again has his own channel called St1ka, or St1ka Games.
Just be sure to search for St1ka's Retro Corner.
St1ka's Retro Corner. I'm gonna put a link in the description down below so you can find him. He's got a lot of cool like retro videos. I mean, he even told us dragons, riding dragons, fighting dragons, shooting dragons.
I gotta show you that video. That video is awesome.
Yeah. So if you want to see a really cool Sega Genesis video, I mean, that sounds pretty cool. So, so is there anything you wanted to add? Sort of final thoughts on Streets of Rage here?
Yes, I just want to say that Genesis did what Nintendo.
That kind of sums it all up, doesn't it?
Yes,
sums it all up. Guys, what?
I like Nintendo.
Yeah, no. But it's okay to have a favorite. It's okay to have a favorite.
It's okay, yeah.
Guys, what do you think of Streets of Rage here? Is it a game that you grew up playing and you have some fond memories you'd like to share with us? If so, feel free to do so in the comments down below. As always, thank you for checking out the video today. If you have enjoyed this Let's Play, make sure to like the video. And if you've enjoyed having Gonz here as a special guest, make sure to let me know that too in the comments, because we could potentially get him back sometime if people sort of enjoyed having him. I know I sure did. And do make sure to check out his channel. Again, there'll be a link in the description down below. So until next time, my friends, you all take care of yourself. And from Jay and Gonz, peace, I guess. Right?
See you guys.
See you guys. Peace.
Bye.
Let's just try and play that first level for a little bit and just see if we get out of sync or not.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Oops.
Oops, this is confusing.
Yeah, I don't know who's who.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
I think we got it.